Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Gonna get into some more GFRIEND comeback content. Today we're checking out the dance practice for Apple, which I'm really excited about. You guys know how much I love dance practices. And this came out, I feel like, rather quickly. I was not prepared for it to come out as soon as it did. But I'm excited to check this out, guys. I know that this choreo is really intricate in some parts, which we saw in the music video, but there are parts that we didn't get to see during the music video, obviously, where they do a little bit more visual storytelling and not as much focusing exactly on the choreo. But Apple was heavily, a choreography music video. Like I feel like there was a lot of choreo in there, although they still added a lot of story elements. So I'm excited to check this out and see if somehow we see some story elements in the dance. I mean, we know there are some, but I'm wondering if there are any that we didn't see in the music video because a lot of these groups that really deal with heavily story based music videos also put stuff in their choreos that kind of goes to it. Can't You See Me by TXT was one that I noticed a lot of things that I'm like, that is got to be something to do with the story. So I'm expecting to see some here. Obviously, there are some, like I said, that were in the music video. So let's see if we can find anything else. Let's go, guys. I love that they started with so many ripples. I love ripples. You guys know that. So let's talk about this real quick because this is something that came up a lot during my Apple Music video reaction. So this is obvious, and this is something that has been discussed around, everything, social media. It's very obvious that they are representing the tree here. Multiple reasons why. The way that the arms shoot out is almost like if a branch is growing out of a tree, all these different directions. And also, the way that their hands are being held is as if they are holding apples. We see them doing this a lot in the music video, and sometimes there's actually apples there or a glass bead or anything like that. But making that gesture is very much in this music video something that has to do with the apple tree or holding an apple. So that's obviously what this is. When I talked about it in my music video reaction, a lot of people were like, no, it's not anything to do with Hinduism. I discussed this in a comment that I pinned to that. I didn't say that it did. I said that for me personally, the first thing that came to mind was that Hindu deity, not that they were trying to portray that. I know it upset some people, or some people felt the need to clarify. I appreciate you trying to protect the girls, but that's not what I was saying. And the way I stated it is proof of that. So once you see more into the video, you see more of the music video, it's very obvious that they are showing and representing the apple tree, which is the center of this choreo, the center of this music video. I was curious watching the music video if this meant something. As you can see, we have Sowon and Yeren, and they're like holding Umji back as if they're a gate or a doorway. And I was trying to, every time I watched it, I was just like, is this mean something? And I still haven't really figured it out yet. Maybe she's working her way through the thorns we see at the end. I don't know. Ripples everywhere. I love it. That powerful catwalk strut. I talked about this in the comeback stage. Like, is this part of this dance not completely embody what this theme is, which is the Song of a Siren? The sirens pulled those sailors in old mythology, pulled them in when they were lost at sea. and they would kill them. Whether it be wrecking. I think mainly it was they would wreck on the rocks coming towards the island. But like, I feel like the sound and the tone here in this chorus with the wee oh wow wow wow, like all of that is just so, it like makes you float. It makes you want to go towards them. It just embodies what this is supposed to be about, this theme of temptation. And this move here, I talked about it in the comeback stage, and you can see it a lot better here. But this like little like floaty dance they do, it's just like it's almost like a come here motion. And then they're staring at you, and then they just turn their head around when they. Oh my god, I can't. See, there's the gesture. They do a lot in this choreo with formations where a member is kind of hidden, but they're facing like another direction doing the choreo. It's interesting. It's very interesting. Like Shinbi was just doing it. She was backwards, but she was still doing different things. Oh, that move there destroyed me in the music video. Oh. The hip movement in this is just like beckoning me. Oh my god. Like, can we like take a second and discuss this real quick about how the Song of the Sirens as a whole is typically, it's a song that calls you. These sirens called them in, and like it's usually a very beautiful, like floating tone almost. And it's like, what other group besides GFRIEND really could have done this? I mean, I'm sure people are gonna be like, well, this group could have. I just feel like with GFRIEND's tone and all their past music, they just have that beautiful vocal line. They have no rappers, it's all vocals, and I just feel like they were the group to do this, and it's so gorgeous. Also, the fluidity. We know that they're the queens of synchronization, but like they're so fluid. The flow in their dance and their formations of their choreos, it's it's really really beautiful. It makes it so, all these they do formation changes constantly, but it's so subtle in the fluidity of their dance and how well they are at it and how much they perfected it allows you to not really notice it. I mean, you obviously see like, oh, well, Eunha's in the front now, she wasn't before, but it's like you don't see them doing it. You don't see the transition. You don't see them actually, initiating those formation changes, and I love that. It's something that as an art, I feel like as an art form, is really hard to do when it comes to dance, especially with, you know, more and more members. It just becomes hard to make it flow when you're doing all these formation changes. You know, some of these other group choreos, which are typically a lot faster paced songs, there's a lot more movement. It's a lot more obvious. And a lot of that goes with the tone of the song, how fast it is. Sometimes you have to. I mean, that's just the nature of it. But this isn't a ridiculously slow paced song, but yet their formation changes, although they're so constant, it's just so fluid. And I love that. That's one thing, besides the synchronization that they're known for, their formation changes and the way that they spotlight a member has always been something that's drawn me to their choreos. I've talked about it in numerous dance practices that I've done for them, is that they have such a beautiful way of spotlighting a member where they're not doing the exact same group choreo and they're doing more of like where they're doing their spotlight vocals and they do their own kind of thing and then they kind of just merge back into the formation. It's so fluid. It's just a beautiful thing. And GFRIEND's the only group that I've ever really seen, you know, pull that off continuously every single time. This does not mean that other dancers don't know how to dance and they have bad choreos. Don't take it that way because people are going to. I'm just saying that the fluidity in theirs is really something that needs to be talked about more, I feel like. I know synchronization's their big thing. They're the queens of synchronization, and they are. But the fluidity of their dances and how well they act on that is just it's awesome. It's something that I don't think is looked at enough. But thank you guys so much for coming by the video. I love getting to see dance practices. Any more GFRIEND dance practices I can get to, I will. Once we get caught up on all the content from the comeback, we will go back to doing some of the Japanese tracks. I think we had 2 more Japanese tracks to do, and also then we'll kind of start doing some live performance stuff here and there because GFRIEND is not going anywhere on this channel. I will react to anything and everything that I can at my own pace. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm trying to slow down on the amount of videos I put out because it was just getting to be a lot with my normal jobs, and you know, I have a daughter and all this other stuff. So I will be continuing to give you GFRIEND comeback content until we run out of it, and then after that we'll start going back to some of our other GFRIEND content that we had slated. So thank you guys so much for coming to the channel and checking out this video. If you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up down below and subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. I'll see you guys down in the comments.